Hey guys, if you need welding gas, go see the boys at Cool Gas. If you're in New Zealand, yep, go see these guys. They'll look after you. Cool Gas, New Zealand.
Morning. So welcome back to NZ Marko Kustoms. My name's Glenn, if you don't know. At the moment, working on a 65 Chevy Impala. Shush, roof. Sun's coming out. Roof's creaking. Anyway, a brief update on what's going on with this if you haven't seen before. If not, go back and watch the earlier videos. There's 4 at this stage. I haven't quite put the 4th one up, but they'll be up probably before this video has been finished made. So, the gist of this thing is, it's here for rust repair on the shell at the moment. So we've done a rocker, brief history in the car. Sometime in the late 70s or very early 80s, it was hitting the side in this post and back door mainly. Didn't damage the chassis from what I can see, but destroyed the rocker, bent the floor up, pushed everything down as well. It had been repaired. Somebody had made a rocker for it, or seal for it, the outer skin, put it in and just slapped it in there basically. Because this piece of the floor here was bent and twisted down, they just bashed it out really roughly, and this panel here just comes straight across flat and welded on through here, out through here. Was a good inch plus past where it should have been. It had none of this step in it, or anything like that. Yeah, it wasn't done and finished properly, if you know what I mean. So when I took it all off, I cut this piece of floor out, reshaped this because it was really bent, twisted up. The chassis runs through there. So I reshaped that to try and mimic the other side the best it could. Welded that back in. The inner rocker was still in really good order. It's had a repair through it that must have split or bent or something, I don't really know. But it's had a weld repair through it, so they had some big ugly weld on it, so I ground it off and cleaned that up a bit. And then it was also very bananaed down. It was sort of like pushed down here. It's meant to be level. If you look at the other side, the bottom of the rocker across that seam is pretty level. So I had to push that up. Actually lifted up 2 jacks and then heat it with a gas torch to get it to come up. I don't know, probably half an inch in the middle. And then once we got the rocker made, we needed the outer skin. I was going to make that myself, but long story short, the place where I would normally go to get it made and do it myself, the machine just wasn't capable of making it. So I had to get one of the places in town to make it for me, one of the sheet metal places. There's another manufacturer out here that makes a lot of horse float stuff, and I've got a big metal folder, but it's from doing anything from sheet metal to like, you know, 1/4 inch plate. I think it does even thicker than that. So yeah, it was just, it wouldn't bend it. The way the folding bar on it, the blade on it is, it's too thick. We couldn't get some of these smaller bends in nicely, so yeah, pulling that off, we had to wait probably, I don't know, probably most of a week before I got that back. So yeah, so done that, rebuilt. Also started the wheel arch, the inner, got a dog leg there to go on it as well. Had to remake this piece. There's lots of other pieces that we're working on here as well. I started doing all these other pieces while I was waiting on that to come back. Patching the roof we're going to do. There's a couple of pieces around the front. I got to do the whole wheel arch around again on the other side. A couple of holes bottom that quarter. We'll find out what the rest of that quarter is like when we dig into those pieces. We may just be just as easy to cut that off and replace it, but we'll see. This one is actually not that bad. Got a piece around here to do. Oh, these are my new out for the other side that I've already made. These are the dog leg. They're come from the US. I've got to do a bit of repair here. Same up here. Got to do some repair in here. It's actually been patched, but it just hasn't been finished properly. Same here. It's been patched, but it's never been. They've left frickin' big holes in it. Just never been welded up and cleaned up properly. Patchy to do. Obviously that wheel arch, we're probably going to redo that bottom of that quarter. It's fucking rough as shit. Obviously that dog leg as well, part of that. Wee bit in here, bit up here, bit down there, wee bit in the floor. The rest of the floor plans are bloody near perfect. And like I said, a wee bit in that, trying to walk around with the tripod. A bit in that bottom of that floor. In there, somebody started patching that, but it's just never been done properly, finished off properly. And then we're going to seam weld that main seam that goes up around there, and it's got a little bit of rotten behind there that's been cleaned up and everything. But yeah, we may end up just cutting that piece of that out so we can get in there and sort all that out, and then we'll seam weld that. So hopefully by early next week, I've got that done. Yeah, we'll get on with it, and we'll get the rest of this rocker finished welding on, and I want to get that wheel arch on, and the dog leg on, and maybe up into that pillar finished today. Alright, so that's all on. I've still got to do some welding up down the bottom. I think there's an old little pinhole. Just got to go back and double check and chase. But I've blown just some weld through on there, just so now that I've got it cleaned up, it doesn't sort of want to flash rust or anything. So I'm going along here, as you probably would have seen. But I'm going to call on to Dad's, because he has got some of those vice grips that have got a flat blade on them, and they've got a hook that comes around and pokes like that. I just want them to grab that inner and outer as I slip it or snip it, the excess off from obviously both sides. I just want to be able to squeeze them together. It's just there's a little bit of a gap in there, like one sitting slightly above the other, and it's an awkward to get them to pull together. So we can get those. I think he's got a couple of sets of those. I might grab both, and then we can just go on and clamp them and keep cutting and welding and keep going around and get all that tidied up. And then once we've got that on, then we'll start putting the outer on. I've got a little bit of mucking around to do on the back side of in here. Yeah, I've got a little bit of finishing off to do down there and whatever. Obviously we got to put the extra piece of skin on when we do that. And whatever, yeah, and I've got I don't know, quite a few plug welds to do down there. I haven't done any more than what I did originally. And I sort of just got the top finished off. Actually looks quite good down there now. Like it looks kind of what it should, if you know what I mean. Like if you compare this side to over there, you know, it doesn't look a whole lot different. You know, it's apart from not having this in it and this little extra bulgy out piece, like it doesn't look a lot different, if you know what I mean. We've got basically the same thing, minus the few holes where they've drilled in to put old frickin' trim on, but you know, I've tried to get it as close as I could to original within consideration, if you know what I mean. So yeah, a couple more tidied up with just some bits and pieces over there, and you know, it looks not much different to that. You know, there's probably the odd little piece where it haven't quite got this step in it, but whatever, but you know, it is what it is. Kind of looks the same. It looks like they may have, this might be a bit bent over in there. It's probably meant to come out a bit more. Hard to say, but it is what it is. It's on there now, and at least it looks half stock, if you know what I mean. It's better than frickin' what it did anyway. You know, in a bit of a way. I've obviously had to grind up that extra piece where I added the floor piece back in and whatever, and you know, it's a damn sight better than it was. It's not perfect, but as I said, you know, a wee smear body through a filler through there and just block it off and get it half decent. Just make sure it's smooth. You wouldn't have to make sure it was dead flat, because it doesn't matter shit. But if you did that and then blew a coat of paint up, nobody's going to know. You know, and by the time you clean up the underside as well, you know, and put some more, it looks like it's had that tar coating put underneath it at some point. Yeah, if you slapped a bit more around that round, and then where I've been repairing, nobody will ever bloody know by the time I've cleaned it up and whatever. So yeah, so I'll go grab those clamps from Dad's on the way back home for lunch, and the other thing I need to get is some frickin' flappy wheels from a grinder. I haven't got any new ones left. I'm using all the half decent ones I had left. I haven't really got any left. I've got one on there, and I think I might have another one there that I've cut back to go again. But yeah, I'll grab a couple of new ones. Well, I will grab more than a couple, but you know what I mean. I'll grab a few new ones from the local engineers. And yeah, I'd much rather grab them from in town, but the local engineers is just up the road from home, so it's handy enough to grab, you know, 4 or 5. Next time I'm in town, I'll grab a whole pile, and they're quite a bit cheaper, you know. By the time what you pay for probably 6, you'd probably pay for 10 or a dozen in there, if you know what I mean. But it is what it is. All right, we'll see you after lunch, and we'll keep welding.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Morning, guys. Welcome back. So, I had more surprises turn up last night, or yesterday, late yesterday, through the grim rain. So, once again, Outlaw Garage, thank you very much. So the other day he sent me this, which is absolutely awesome. That'll come in very handy. I've used it a couple of times. And then this turned up with this and this and a long Durablock. Now, story goes, when I bought my Durablock kit, which is that and that and that and that, I have modified some of the other blocks that were with it. And that and that and some other stuff somewhere else, I think. Yeah, I think there's another couple of these floating around. Anyway, there was a 6 or 7 block kit, and I was a bit silly. I should have bought the 7 block kit because it would have come with this one. I didn't realise this was the one that was missing in that kit, and I just never got around to getting another one. I've been meaning to buy one for ages, but I just never got around to it, and I threw it in the Amazon wish list, and I thought, well, if I ever get one sent to me, that's awesome, but if I happen to pick one up, well, you know, I'll take it off. But anyway, Outlaw Garage sent me one, which is absolutely awesome, and he sent me this square, which comes with this kit, and it also comes with a ruler. But this here is a it's got what, some of those 1, 2, 3 blocks in it, plus, well, it's only got one, but it comes with other different sizes as well. So that's 3/4 by, I think it's half, I think it is. Yeah, 3/4 by half by 3 inches long, and it goes right down to the 16th, I think it is. Yeah, 16th, 3/32, 8th, 5/32, 3/16, you know, and all the other little sizes in between, which is kind of handy. I was actually thinking it was more these sort of sizes, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was thinking they were like this size, but different thicknesses, like this size, but instead of being 1 inch, they were I was thinking they were like 3/4, 2, 3, if you know what I mean. So they were just different thicknesses. I didn't pick that up when I looked at the set. And on Amazon, sometimes the pictures are, I wouldn't say misleading, but sometimes you look a bit harder than what you realise for a start off. But they'll still come in very handy for setting stuff up. But I'll have to get myself some more of these 1, 2, 3 blocks and bits and pieces. But yeah, these will come in handy definitely for just setting bits and pieces up. You know, setting things up square and for welding and all sorts of things. But yeah, so very, very handy. So I'll definitely use these quite a bit. And this has obviously got the different angles in it for different. So if you want to try to find an angle, something, even on a panel or whatever, different bits and pieces here to be really handy for just laying stuff out. So yeah, but anyway, so this is the blocks I used a lot for sanding. These are acrylic blocks that I've made. I want to make some different thicknesses of these too, as well. Make some thicker and some thinner ones this way. So I think this is I think these are where are we? Are they 3/6? Are they that thick? No. I think they're 1/8 thick. This is all the same material. No? No. Hey. 3/32. Yeah. So 5/32 thick. So yeah, I wouldn't mind some thinner ones and some thicker ones. I've seen Lucky Matte blocks is what I designed these off. Off a video that Arco had seen. Marko said, yeah, make yourself some if you can, or get some. But Lucky Matte's blocks, when you're trying to buy them from the US, just aren't cheap when you're trying to get them stuff over to here in New Zealand. Wouldn't be too bad if you're in the US or Canada or something like that. You know, they would be worth probably buying, because you wouldn't be chasing all the different thicknesses of acrylic. But yeah, like I wouldn't mind making some 1/4 inch thick ones, or even that thick plus thinner. I think he's got like some of them are 1/8 inch thick, I think, or even thinner, because they'll flex different. But these here are what you want for doing that final block out. When you've got rid of all the highs and lows with a Durablock, and you think you're ready to go, then you switch to these. Because these here, like even though these will do like a really nice flat job, these here will bring up more highs and lows, and these here these will never find. These will end up with just your bodywork being just glass flat. I'm still learning how to use, well, not to say learning how to use these, but I'm still learning to get stuff flatter and flatter and flatter. I'm still getting to the point where on even that Dodge, I know there was still some other little fine waves and bits and pieces that I probably could have got rid of, but I was just running out of time. And it still looks really good. It's like this duty. It looks really good. You know, when it's all cleaned up and buffed, and when we get a chance to get that all waxed up and everything, it looks absolutely sharp. But if you want to go to that next level, it takes quite a wee while. You know, you're gonna have to do another couple of good primes to go over with these. You know, once you've lost all your marks with your Durablocks and you know there's nothing left, switch to these and then go again, and yeah, you'll end up with that super glassy flat paintwork. You know, and just make them all different sizes and lengths and whatever. You know, I've got heaps of different little ones, you know, right down to that, you know, for doing the little areas, different lengths, widths. Just, yeah, I got heaps of them. I made them all out of the same sheet. But yeah, I'd like to get some thicker stuff and some thinner stuff just for some extra stuff. But yeah, and I like at least a couple of this same size, because you can have different grades of paper on. Like I would start using these at, say, like 400 and maybe 600 if you want it really super flat and glassy and no scratches in your, you know, in your primer or undercoat. Yeah, you could like have 400 on one set of blocks and say 600 on the next set, you know, and then you can just switch as you go on. But anyway, we'll get back into this. We'll get this inner wheel arch finished, and then we'll get the outer on and the dog leg on, and we'll try and get into this bottom of the quarter, and we'll see where we're going to go with in here. It needs all cleaned, all the junk cleaned out of it and whatever, which I might blow out now. I'll grab the line, we'll blow it out from there, and we'll blow all the rest of the junk out, and we're going to have a decent look in there. Right, I'm just in the midst of sorting out what I'm going to do here. Now, I just use the air punch tool in the flanger, obviously to knock a series of holes around there. I might put another couple on it. But do they make one that's deeper in? Like, because you're restricted by, wherever it is, here, restricted by this depth for the punch thing. I love this thing, it's awesome, but this depth is very shallow, and like sometimes it's not always viable, if you know what I mean, because it's so close to edge. Like it's all right on something like that because it doesn't really matter, you haven't got a very big thing, but on this back edge, I went to use it, and because it's here, I'd much rather drill the hole, you know, sort of halfway in, or something like that. Or if you got a bigger, I don't know, like say, I don't know, like for argument's sake, you were, well, it's not really a good example, but it is, like you're replacing, say, like a piece in here, and you wanted to punch a series of holes, but you don't want them right out near the edge, you want them back in a little bit, or yeah, I don't know, I'm just thinking that sometimes that, like, you know, you just would like it in a little bit deeper. I don't even know what that is in. It'll be half an inch centre, maybe, if that. I don't know. So you just make one that's like, that's a little bit deeper in. I don't know, like, well, I actually thought about cutting a piece in here, but it would weaken it too much, I'd think. End up breaking it off, but I don't know, like, if that was a little bit deeper, like, say you could get the metal in a little bit deeper, it would be freaking marvellous. Something like, I was actually just looking through the book that come with this, just to see if there was, like, a different variation. Because they come in a 5mm and an 8mm. If I realised there was an 8mm, I probably would have got the 8mm. One wouldn't make much difference, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, but do they actually, are they really deeper in? I don't know, it'd be just nice to have another frickin', you know, 1/4 inch in deeper, or had at least had the option. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's one of those frickin' belt sanders would be frickin' handy too, wouldn't it? You know, yeah, I was just looking at their tools and I was like, does anybody actually make a one that's deeper in? But yeah, pain in the butt. I don't know, just doesn't look like there's any difference in depth, if you know what I mean. Oh, maybe the 8mm is a little bit deeper in, but I don't know, it'd just be nice for sometimes, even like for stuff like this, so you could just a little bit deeper in sometimes. I suppose most things are flanged right near the edge, I suppose, but I don't know, it'd just be nice to have the option that you could come along and just punch it a little bit further in. I don't know, I just feel like it's not alright for this sort of thing. But if you had like a bigger, wider flange, that you don't want the spot welds just right on the edge, or plug welds right on the edge, that could have a little bit deeper. No, it wouldn't matter, I guess, but just, you know, just that thought. Yeah, carry on. Well, I don't think that's going anywhere now. I actually realised before when I was mucking around with there, I must have popped all the welds up there, so I'll weld all that when I go up there too. I haven't welded the inside yet, and I fixed down there. I actually sprayed a whole heap of texture undercoat in there before I put this on. I haven't sprayed around here, but yeah, I sprayed it all in and around that piece to try and seal it up the best you can. Like we obviously put some weld through primer and rust converter and all that crap in there, but I sprayed a bit of, I forgot to turn the freaking camera on. I was too busy working. So yeah, it's on. We've still got a weld around the bottom and put that on, and obviously, yeah, I split this and pulled that in I'm still got to do that. And I've got to do some clean-ups and whatever on the welds, and we'll put seam sealer on around on the underside when we get that far. But yeah, we've got that on now, so obviously I'll finish working around here and whatever. We'll get this panel on. And the reason I haven't tacked it on the inside yet was so, just in case I've got a pull or something, shove that around or whatever, just in case. Get everything to line up. But yeah, I've got the majority of that all welded on now, all the pinholes filled too. I'll just do a double check and then we'll spray some shit up in there. And we'll get where the heck me freaking bit is. Here. Nope, that's actually we'll get some weld through on the inside of that. We'll give that a clean up, get some weld through on there. And obviously on the rest of that, and then we'll get that sorted to try and put this on. I still haven't got round down this corner. What am I going to do there? I really need to do that before I can put that on, don't I? Yeah. I was just about to do. I was just thinking of that. Get that shit out of there. Just down for a minute here. That's basically ready to go. The welds aren't that fucking pretty in there, but I've knocked the worst ugly shit off, and like I said, we'll put some weld through in there, and then we'll spray some texture coat in there as well, and then the rest of the back part we should better get from the other side, hopefully. Shut up. But yeah, we'll get some weld through on this piece in there, and then yeah, we'll probably have to do this first so I don't have to cut. I don't really want to cut the bottom of this off before we start welding on. Be nice to have that all in one piece. I can. Should about it. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Still not very nice to grind up and clean up in there, but it is what it is. We'll get it. We'll make it the best we can. We'll smear a freaking good dollop of freaking seam sealer around there, and freaking we'll get we're gonna have to get some more texture undercut. I'm actually just using the other stuff I used off the Studebaker, just the 3M stuff. I'm just using that to give it a bloody good clean round, or blow in there. Just what I had left. But yeah, we'll get that on the inside as well once we put seam sealer and everything in there. I may as well do it myself, at least then. Like I can't not do that, but we may as well seam seal that and spray it up in there anyway, and then they don't have to worry about it.
Alrighty. Zoom that out a little bit. I was hoping that was on by now, but not quite there yet. We're getting close, really close. I need to get a little bit better shape in this yet. I would like to get this here section just out, probably another 3/8. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, probably about 1/8 of an inch-ish. No, not 3/8, about 1/8-ish out, just a little bit further through here, so I can just bring this panel out a little bit. I just held that bit of strap down there from sort of one end to the other. Just sort of put my hand out, stretched it out as far as I could across the two panels, sort of like this, so I can basically touch the end of it, if you know what I mean. And there's just a little bit of a gap over here, and it's pretty good, but I think it just needs to come out there. And then I think we'll be pretty close. Like the main reason I'm doing this now is because I just want to get this shape right, so when I go to put this on, I can just put it on. We're going to weld that inner to the inner, these two inner pieces together, and clean it up and weld it together. And whatever, but yeah, just a little bit more tweaking. Like, people wonder why, like, thought I had it reasonable, but I think with welding that inner piece on, I probably just didn't have this fine tuning up either, but just the shape changed a little bit with welding it in, and it sort of just pulled things in. I probably didn't have quite enough shape in this either, but yeah, it just sat different. Wasn't happy with it. Looking down the side of the car, you would see that it was weird, and you don't want to be trying to build it up with a whole heap of body filler to make it look correct. Like, it's going to have a bit in it, obviously, but anyway, but the closer I can get it to this proportion shape, and then a bit of mud around here, and just have to blend it out and try and make it look as good as possible. You know, it is what it is. We'll get a wee bit of, we've still got to weld this in and tweak, and we can pull this in a little bit. Just want to try to get this transition just a touch better too, but I think we'll get that with pushing bits and pieces in here. It's all clamped up, but it just needs to come out here a bit more. Then when I get this piece to come out, it'll just bring the whole thing out, and we'll be right. But it might take another freaking half an hour yet, or even an hour, but we'll keep playing. I'll get it right. Right, shush, little bird. My little friend's back for winter. I'm sick of tripping over frickin' screws and shit. So I'm going to clean up, and then we'll get back in it. I'm just tripping over everything. It's the worst thing, when you frickin', and I hate that frickin' thing not having the tractor's broken on it. So I'll have to replace it at some point, but it's not at the moment. What I'll do is I'll take that hose off, just put a normal wheel up, and then we'll get another reel put up there with a new hose on it. So we've got an extra hose that I can run somewhere at some point. Be nice to have another hose off somewhere. It wouldn't be even too bad to extend that manifold even down the wall with just a bit of straight pipe and another fitting on it or something at some point. If you're wondering, it's just made out of high pressure water pipe. It's rated to, I think, it's either 15 or 21 bar, just depending on which website you look at. I'm pretty sure it's, so 20 or 15 is about 200 and something, and 21 is like 300 and something. So I've only got about 115 through it max, so it's plenty strong enough for what it is. And you just glue it together and make a manifold to catch the water if you're not familiar with what this is. So if you're doing a lot of spraying, like another couple of ups and downs, and it wouldn't hurt either, but yeah, what it does is, obviously when you first start painting, especially if you're doing like the full top coat or something like, especially on a big car like this,
if you had all the panels on and you're ready to spray around, you're going to be spraying for a while, especially, 3 or 4, I don't know, like 3 or 4 coats of colour, depending on what you're doing, if you know what I mean. But you drain your compressor, drain all these, drain your trap, and then by the time you finish spraying, you'll have water in these, but in theory, the last one should be fairly dry, and then you might just have a little bit of residue in there, and you probably have a heap of water in there, but that won't be coming through to the gun too much, because it's any water coming through, as the water cools down, as the air cools down, starts just settling in the bottom. So yeah, it's a good thing to make up. You can make it out of copper tube or whatever else you want, there's lots of different ways, as long as it's got a decent pressure rating. But yeah, that's what we just made this out of. But yeah, like another couple of drops in it and then run a line down there wouldn't go astray, if you know what I mean. But we'll carry on cleaning up here, and then we'll do a couple more tweaks with that thing and see if we can get this corner welded up and get it tacked on before I leave here tonight. I'm sick of tripping over shit, so it's time to have a quick clean up. I think we're making some progress now. Getting it to sit out through here, so we've got a nice gap through here. Obviously, we haven't pulled this out and tweaked the the alpha back out to where we want it, but I'll make our line through here now. Looks close to right. So I might do a little bit of dialing there. Doesn't look like it comes along here now and then dives in and then comes back out. It might have a little bit of that in it, but by the time we push this in and pull that out, what I'll do, I'll tack it back on again. Have a wee look-see, just so I can get a better idea of how all this sits. I'll try and get this here all to come out to meet, obviously. We're not going to weld it on, but we just want to get it tacked on in a few spots and just make sure we're happy with what we're looking at. I might have to put the car down on the ground, I think, or closer to the ground. Being up frickin', I don't know, whatever that is. 3 feet in the air. Not helping. But it gives me a rough idea. I think we're coming right. It's coming right. I've had to do a fair bit of working through here, sorry. Had to do a fair bit of working through here just to try and get this to stretch and come out. I'm not sure if you've seen what I was doing there earlier. I had it clamped onto here with just these. I don't think they were strong enough, so I used a couple of the sets of the vice grips. The locking clamps, whatever you freaking want to call them. We call them vice grips over here because it's brand. But yeah, with the locking pliers, used a couple of sets of those to really clamp it down hard and then wow it on it and then massaged it. But yeah, I'll do a little bit of massage here. It's got a bit of a funny lump in it, but it's right. I think we'll just tack weld it on one more time and just have a wee nosy, just make sure we are happy with that. Because it's just the light plays games with you until you sort of get it right. That kind of looks right. Someone's zooming in a wee bit. It kind of looks decent now, I think. For another set of fucking eyes would be just handy sometimes. Just to get somebody else to steer over and go, don't like that sort of type thing. Because sometimes you can get tunnel vision looking at one piece, if you know what I mean. Like one area, like I've been focusing on here, but sometimes just another bloody set of eyes would be really handy. Yeah, I think it looks alright. It's Still not 100% though through there, is it? Still needs to come out there. I'll just whale on a little bit more. I don't want to be trying to put a heap of body filler in if I can get away with it. A little bit, it's fine. You know, I don't mind if it's a little bit, just it's a wee bit funny in the odd spot, but because once it's on there, it's on there. It's awkward to get in and alter it. And you don't want to be cutting into it and then splitting it and adding a little bit of metal into it if you don't have to. But yeah, we might just whale on that just a little bit more through here. Like a pen in my pocket. No. Here. I can just see it's here. So this piece through there just looks a little low. Oh, we'll have one more go and then I'll weld it on and we'll have another look. But yeah, we're getting there. Man, you just beat on it for hours. Right, morning guys. So, welcome back to NZ Moper Outlaw Kustoms. I'm not sure if this is the start of a new video, but I will start it like anyway. Anyway, about to dig back into the 65, but on a sadder note this morning, I just found out that Brent from Halfass Kustoms just lost his freaking workshop.
Alright folks, this is not the kind of video that I want to make. I think I've had about a day for this to soak in. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do at the moment. Yeah. So anyways, I'll let you see. So while we were on holidays, we did the Lone Star Roundup. We got a call, I guess, I don't know. That was yesterday. I honestly don't know what the date is. The 25th or something, I don't know. We were just on our way back. We were gonna go up to Saskatchewan there. And got a call from my brother. Shop was on fire. And yeah. What you see is what's left.
They went away on a holiday down to Texas to the Lone Star Roundup. I've also been following some of the little clips and bits and pieces and videos he's been putting up as he's been away. I assume they're obviously at home now, but obviously when they were away, I don't know when, it must have been later in their trip, I'm imagining. But yeah, his main workshop with all his gear in it, obviously if probably, I don't know how many vehicles are on it, but he lost, well, assuming that 35 Dodge Plymouth DeSoto, it's probably a complete loss, or 36, whatever it is. And his little Ford, that white pickup, white and green pickup that he built a couple of years ago, or whatever it was, that he sort of done, which is absolutely wicked little frickin' hot rod. I know looks like it's pretty fried. Whether it's rebuildable or not, you know, who knows, but it just sucks. It's just all charred and burnt in there from just the photos he's put up. Absolutely devastating thing to frickin' have happen. So I don't know what's happened, to be honest. I know his son works in his workshop a lot, and I know he's got other mates that obviously go there and borrow gear and use gear and whatever else. You'd see that a lot in the background when he's doing stuff. There's always other people there at different stages, unless he's there right at night by himself, but a lot of the time on the weekends and bits and pieces, there's always people coming and going. You can see them in the background, and occasionally they're giving them a hand or doing something. But man, what a freaking way to come home to from a cool holiday, you know, being out in the Buick and whatever out like that, and cruising around, obviously enjoying yourself, and then, you know, bang, next thing your trip turns into the fucking horror nightmare that you never want it to be. So devastating. Because they had a lot of gear in that shop too, you know, that just very, very awkward to replace. You know, lathes and all sorts of things. These built and made and collected and whatever. You know, that can all be replaced at some point, but there's just some stuff that just can't be easy to replace. It's not as though you can just turn around and buy another one. You know, it'll take a while to hunt those parts down, or bits down, or tools down, you know, to find something close or similar or whatever. You know, and old quality, old school stuff is sometimes better than some of the new stuff. Like, some of the new stuff's really good too, but you have some of it, like that really old school gear can be really, really, really good high quality. Whereas to buy something of that same quality in modern stuff, you gotta really pay for it. Whereas the more modern stuff, some of the cheaper end stuff, the quality's not there. And some of it, you know, it's not built to last like some of the stuff that was built, you know, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, you know. A lot of that stuff was built to last forever, you know. But some of the more modern stuff, that, I don't know, they're just, whether the materials are not as high quality or it's built cheaper or whatever, unless you're paying really, unless you're going back to some of those old school places that still make that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it's just devastating. And to lose the cars that you were working on and whatever. As you said, like, nobody was hurt. No, you know, none of the animals were hurt, like, some, you know, as dogs or whatever. It'll be interesting to see what happened in the end, but yeah, just devastating. Actually, in some ways, you know, I wish I was in Minnesota, where I was meant to be, you know, in 2020, because, man, I just would have dropped shit and just gone over there and helped for a couple of days, you know, just to help clean up. It wouldn't have worried me, but they're only about 4 hours away from where Arco and Heidi are, you know. I just would have said, look, let's frickin' 2 or 3 of us get over there and frickin' just get in and help, you know. Bring whatever spare gear we've got, you know, if there's some stuff that we can bring that he might need, whatever, you know. I know Arco's got lots of doubles and triples of tools and bits and pieces he's collected, you know. You can just say, well, frick, we don't need all this extra shit, we'll throw it in the back of a truck or whatever and drag it over there, give him a hand for a couple of days to help clean up the mess, whatever, you know. Here's a frickin' heap of gear, whatever. Not so easy for me to do that over here in New Zealand. Like, you can send money and all that sort of stuff too, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, we'll have to reach out at some point and try and help them out. I just wish my financials were a bit more better. You know, I would throw a few dollars his way, and I probably will do it at some point in the near future. But that's just absolutely devastating, because it was a wicked workshop too. It would be bigger than this. Yeah, it would have to be bigger than this. I would imagine probably maybe half this big again, I would think. Sort of one of those funny shapes. It was very wide, like it was extra pieces in amongst it. Duck shooting here at the moment. First weekend. But anyway, we'll get it back into this. It's so devastating. It'd be interesting to see what he puts out in the next wee while, and I'll see the stories that come out. But yeah, I hope, just to me, I hope it was more of a, maybe an electrical fire or something stupid that happened, you know, that nobody really caused. But yeah, I got a funny feeling, you know, it would have been somebody in there working, and I don't know, you know, something went on fire in the background as they were welding or grinding or whatever, and you know, some rags went up on fire or something stupid, and then also the next thing, half the fucking building's on fire, and you turn around, you got to get out of there, sort of type thing. I hope it wasn't something like that, because yeah, I know that's kind of what happened with Heidi and Arco when they lost one of their workshops there 12 months ago or whatever it was. Might be a little bit longer than that now. Some guys were down in the workshop. They'd been using a cutting torch to cut some bits out of a car or something like that, and there must have been some sparks got into I think this is what they think happened, got into a rubbish bin that had some old rags and bits and pieces, oily rags and stuff in it, and that must have just ignited, and then must have burst into flames, you know, early morning, and burnt the workshop to the ground. You know, it kind of sucks. It's that sort of thing that happened, but yeah, I try not to have too many rags and bits and pieces sitting near me when I'm working. But yeah, you got to be careful when you get more and more stuff. It's very easy to get cluttered around when you're working, and you know, sparks and whatever go everywhere. And you know, if you've got sort of more combustible materials around, it's very easy to set shit on fire. You know, you might walk away for a couple of hours, and then look next thing, something poof, I had a little spark in there. It was just smouldering away. Actually, Dan from DD Speed Shop did a little thing there a while ago too. He must have been wiping the vehicle down with some linseed oil, doing like a patina frickin' thing on it. He must have accidentally done it, and then he replicated it. Basically, he'd thrown some rags in a box, thinking to get rid of them later on, and had them sitting on an old motor, and he forgot to shut his little diesel blower heater off in the workshop. Must have went inside to do something, and then must have sat down and sort of forgot to go back out and switch everything off, and got really hot in there, and then that combusted within about, I don't know, I can't remember how long he said it took to do on the video when they replicated it, but it was a couple of hours sort of type thing, if you know what I mean. Next thing, boom, it was, you know, that would have been quite easy, you know, another freaking 10 minutes or whatever, or even 5 minutes. And the whole place would have been up in flames, but he replicated it and did it on camera to show what could happen for, he said it was like the dumb factor, you know, just one of those stupid things, you know, he went inside to do something, so maybe it was, you know, evening or something like that, you think, oh, I'll just go inside to do something, get distracted, sit down, whatever, start watching something on TV or whatever, and you think, oh shit, you know, a couple of hours later, oh bugger, you know, I meant to go out there, turn that off, and you walk back out inside and here's your workshop on fire. You know, that's the sort of thing that happens, you know. That's sort of one of those sort of things you go to do something, get distracted, come back freaking 2 hours later, and next thing your workshop's burnt down, so. Yeah, very devastating. But anyway, we'll get back into this. I'm close to putting this wheel arch on. I want to do a little bit more cleanup on the welds, bits and pieces in here. I'll spray some texture coating. I've got to do some, I've got to do some welding down here, join this into that. I just want to run around here, just knock a few ugly bits down. I might even climb back inside here and just do a little bit more welding on the inside and grind out and clean it up a bit more. I'll grind and clean it up a bit later on, but then we'll lay some texture coat in there as well as some weld through. And then we can start putting that out a piece on once we get that sort of dialed in, and then we will start fixing this piece. Decide what we're doing here. Yeah, we're getting closer. It took me a while yesterday to I'd started making this, and I sort of thought I had it close, but when I started testing it yesterday, earlier on, I knew that just something wasn't right through here. It needed, this needed to be all lifted. It sort of had a bit of a wonky shape in it. It was sort of like 3/4 of the way here. And it took me frickin' another couple of 3 hours just to try and get it close. I'll retest with it now and have another look, since obviously the light's changed in the day and whatever. I'll have another nosy and just see if I need to do anything else to it. But you want to get this cleaned up and get this welded on, so then I can move into this piece, and then I'll see up into that post and see if I can get this piece finished. And then we'll call this side sort of kind of done for these bits anyway, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we'll get a little bit of clean up here. Like some of this sort of stuff we can come back on and, you know, we can plug weld these bits later on, but let's get these on and get this welded around here. The plug welds are easy. And a little bit of clean up and dress up and some shit later on, but smear some seam sealer right around in here. I'll give that a good dosage in there and blow some, I'll still have that texture undercoat sitting there, so I can even spray that up in there as well, but once I've got it all sealed up. Right, we'll get into it.
Hey guys, if you need welding gas, go see the boys at Cool Gas. If you're in New Zealand, yep, go see these guys. They'll look after you. Cool Gas, New Zealand.